Hello, Wiz and Pippy here. In today's video, we're spotlighting the Aetherial Expanse Setting Guide from Ghostfire Gaming. This sourcebook is compatible with 5e and springs forth from Ghostfire Gaming's Fables adventure, Pirates of the Aetherial Expanse. We'll discuss what it has to offer, part by part, spotlighting its strengths, and then we'll talk about who this might be good for and who it might not be good for. Reminder that this is a spotlight, not a review, as I feel like I need to run a proper long-term campaign with the setting book to give a fair review. However, I have used the book and ran some short escapades within it. So let's get into it with the Aetherial Expanse Setting Guide. First question might be on some of your minds if you're not familiar with this product is, what is this? Written in the preface, designer James Hake describes the Aetherial Expanse as boldly unserious, but so earnestly heartfelt. Which, boldly unserious, isn't a phrase you would use to describe past Ghostfire Gaming products, famous for their gritty, grim hollow setting. Though, as Hake also points out in the preface, the Aetherial Expanse aims to be a setting that evokes the same imaginative, carefree wonder of childhood daydreams. Those where epic adventures unfold on the decks of fantastical ships, and daring escapades happen among the stars. It's a setting designed to inspire laughter, thrill, and a sense of unbridled freedom, while still retaining enough emotional depth and sincerity to keep the stakes meaningful. And with the addition of a crunchy ship combat system and cosmic horror elements, the design space is there for you to return to that gritty fantasy that Ghostfire is known for. The Aetherial Expanse is a region within the astral plane made up of magical aether, a substance that can be sailed upon like water. Its solid form, aetherium, is highly valuable, particularly in magitech production. This expanse serves as a crossroads of the multiverse, portals leading to countless worlds. Its design evokes the vibes of Sigil and Planescape, as well as Spelljammer, but with a unique focus on naval exploration during a colonial era setting. Nations vie to colonize and exploit the Expanse's resources, while native inhabitants resist these efforts, sparking conflicts over lost civilizations, ancient secrets, and the terrible power hidden within the Aether Sea. The book highlights several types of adventures that it aims to accommodate, such as a pirate swashbuckling adventure with high seas style hijinks on magical ships, wondrous exploration to discover the beauty and dangers of the Ethereal Sea, preventing the apocalypse by facing cosmic-scale threats, eldritch and cosmic horror that sees adventurers unearthing horrifying secrets in the depths of the Aether Sea, and the plane-hopping journey across worlds through multiverse-spanning portals. But does it achieve that? Let's take a closer look with Part 1, the Starlight Codex. This section opens with the origin myth for the setting, offering several possible explanations for the creation of the Ethereal Sea. A dying god myth, a fallen civilization myth, and aethergenesis offered within the Fables adventure, Pirates of the Aetherial Expanse, that holds that lost planefarers, killed by the tempestuous forces of the astral plane, refuse to pass on. Their spirits, alongside others who shared a similar fate, merge to form the Ethereal Sea. GMs are encouraged to develop their own truth. This section also plants secrets and adventure seeds to be explored. Among these are the cosmic turtles, creatures transformed by the environment in the Expanse. These titanic beings have grown so massive that they carry islands upon their backs, offering unique opportunities for exploration. Another mystery lies in the lost city of Astrium, said to have been founded by the plane-faring giants known as Astral Titans. The city, once a hub of incredible magic and power, is now swallowed by a vast maelstrom. Whether Astrium truly existed, or if its magical secrets and the Astral Titans who built it are gone forever, remains a question that beckons adventurers to search for answers in the depths of the Aetherial Expanse. While the origins of the Ethereal Sea remain shrouded in myth, its physical and magical properties are far more tangible. The Aether itself is a volatile, highly reactive substance, and its solid form, aetherium, is a treasure of immense value. Aetherium serves as both currency and a powerful energy source, prized for its utility in magitech and feared for its destructive, explosive potential. The Aether's interaction with magic adds another layer of complexity. Creatures immersed in or standing within a puddle of Aether are particularly vulnerable, suffering disadvantage on saving throws against spells and magical effects. For those willing to take the risk, mages can imbibe Aether for a temporary surge of magical power, though this comes with the danger of Aether poisoning, a 3-stage affliction that grows increasingly severe, offering its own potential for plot hooks and adventuring challenges. The substance's unique properties extend further, as Aether reacts differently to the elements of air, water, fire, and earth. each interaction creating opportunities for imaginative environmental storytelling. Among the more dramatic phenomena in the Expanse are aether storms, which occur when rare planar alignments cause portals to the 4 elemental planes to converge, unleashing chaotic energy and unpredictable effects across the region. The volatile magic and precious resources of the Aetherial Expanse have drawn the attention of many factions, each vying for dominance in this boundless sea. These groups bring their own agenda, rivalries, and tensions to the region, shaping the politics and conflicts of the Aether. The Drakes are a loose coalition of pirate crews, united under the banner of Captain Taruko and her legendary ship, the Drake. Initially founded as a refuge for outlaws and defectors, the Drakes have grown into a semi-cohesive force, though their internal factions remain distinct. Among these are the Blood Lilies, a druidic crew driven by vengeance against the Caroline Navy, and the Children of Asteth, a fiercely militant group devoted to the goddess Asteth and the complete defeat of the Caroline Empire. Other subgroups, such as the Shipwreckers, the Tenders Guild, and the Thorned Knights, each bring their own unique flavor to the chaotic brotherhood of the Drakes. On the other end of the spectrum lies the Kingdom of Aeris, a royal dynasty at the heart of a mercantile empire. Aeris was the first to discover the Aetherial Expanse, accessing it through portals opened by their ambitious mages. With a focus on colonization and exploitation, the kingdom sees the Expanse as a new frontier for profit and power. However, their ambitions are fiercely opposed by the Caroline Empire, a militaristic democracy whose formidable navy has waged a bitter, decades-long war with Aeris for control of the Expanse. Their mages in particular covet Aetherium for its potential to fuel advancements in magitech. Other factions bring additional layers of intrigue. The Hungering is an enigmatic group that aims to fulfill worship of their god through the betterment of society, while the merfolk of the Constellation Isles stand as protectors of their domain, navigating the tensions between their traditions and livelihood and the encroaching forces of colonization. The factions section is rich with detail, offering notable characters, faction goals, and quest hooks to inspire adventures. Whether players align with these groups or oppose them, the tangled web of alliances and rivalries ensures a dynamic and ever-changing narrative landscape within the Aetherial Expanse. The Gazetteer section details the major island and destinations that the Aetherial offers, including the home bases of each of the 3 major factions. Quest hooks and interesting NPCs are sprinkled throughout each place, with things for players to utilize and interact with. I found this area well structured and helpful. One of my favorite NPCs and services were the Eggheads, which my group had great fun with. The Eggheads are 3 gray, featureless humanoids that reside in a 10-foot tall goose egg within the Isle of Drakes. The Eggheads are named thus because, well, they look like eggs. The Eggheads, for the cost of 50 GP, will send a message to anyone within the Astral Sea. The player will have to describe the intended recipient in great detail and 3 people they know well. Successful messaging is not guaranteed. The Gazetteer provides a couple of characters or activities like this for each major point of interest, and most of them are great fun. Each of these locations offers unique mysteries, dangerous environments, and potential for adventure. The Aetherial Expanse also offers 8 deities that are worshipped within the Aether Sea, 4 of which make up the Divine Tetrad, the most common pantheon in the Aether. The Tetrad were originally worshipped by the Astral Titans, and the cardinal directions are named for them. Each god is given a brief summary and how the ethereal inhabitants and sailors might interact with them, which is a nice touch to add for GMs and players to provide a little bit of unique flavor to the ethereal sailors. There are also brief details on how each of the major factions tend to interact with the gods, though there is not much here to latch onto for a player or world-building DM, but there is plenty of space to create your own interactions. The sourcebook also offers solutions to the multitude of minutiae that DMs will inevitably have to deal with that can easily go unnoticed by setting authors, such as sleep, rest, food, flora, fauna, and language. Travel is also an important part of an adventure set here, so easy to understand travel rules are outlined, including travel time, exploring uncharted territories, and navigation, which is added as a new skill. Now for the character creation aspects. There are 3 new ancestries, 6 new backgrounds, 24 new subclasses, 21 new spells, and 40 new magical items. That's a lot, and I don't have the space here to cover it all in detail, so let's do a quick overview. Each ancestry is linked to the setting's lore and offers unique storytelling opportunities. Astral emergents are beings born from the thoughts and dreams of mortal minds, their essence finding form by inhabiting the fallen, lifeless body of a traveler lost to the Aether. The concept is abstract and poignant, raising intriguing questions about identity and purpose. An astral emergent might struggle with the remnants of the life they now inhabit, or embrace their surreal existence as a being of dreams. Astral merfolk, considered native to the ethereal sea, live in secluded underwater settlements, rarely mingling with land dwellers. Their perspective is shaped by their aquatic origins, and their worldview could be vastly different from that of an adventuring party dominated by surface dwellers. These cultural differences could lead to moments of friction, humor, or even profound insight as they navigate life beyond the ethereal waves. Meanwhile, automatons, created and powered by Aetherium, represent the ingenuity and ambition of the Carlane Empire. These constructs are beings with agency, yet their existence is tied to their creators. Whether an automaton sees itself as loyal to the Empire, indifferent, or even opposed, its presence in a party can create dynamic interactions. The book also presents 6 new backgrounds that immerse players in the setting, each weaving personal history into the broader tapestry of the Aetherial Expanse. Whether tied to the mercantile ambitions of Eris, the perilous voyages of pirates, or the mysterious insights gained from aether-fueled dreams, these backgrounds offer rich storytelling hooks and mechanical features to ground characters in the new world. The crossroads of magic and technology help define the Aetherial Expanse, with 21 new spells and 40 items expanding the toolbox for adventurers. The spells reflect the unique nature of the setting, often interacting with the Aether in some way. Spells like the Ethereal Rift allow long-distance travel, while others summon Aether Elementals, or create portals to the elemental planes. These options emphasize the setting's sense of wonder and possibility, with each spell offering opportunities for creative problem-solving and dramatic encounters. The new items are no less impressively thought out and flavorful, including a suite of Aetherium-powered magitech firearms that combine arcane energy with technological innovation. These weapons, along with other magical devices, are tied to the setting's theme of exploration and discovery. Each piece feels carefully designed to enhance not only gameplay, but also the storytelling potential of the Aetherial Expanse. With 24 subclasses introduced, the Aetherial Expanse offers an overwhelming variety of new options, each designed to enhance the flavor of the setting while expanding mechanical possibilities. There's really too much here to cover in depth, but luckily there's a nice table that provides a short description for each, so let's go through that really fast. Barbarian subclass Path of Aether Transformation empowers their rage with the transformative effects of the Aether. A Path of the Wrong which channels their outrage through focused violence. Bard class College of the Blade Dancer moves with deadly grace, and College of Shantyfolk inspire crewmates through the power of their songs. Cleric Aether Domain, driven to protect the Aetherial Expanse or claim its power. The Tyranny Domain serves divine powers of tyrannical order. The Circle of the Elements calls upon primordial forces, and the Druid Circle of Feathered Stars draws upon the powers of ancient otherworldly beasts. The Fighter Battle Commander excels in battle by coordinating ally attacks, and the Fighter Corsair intimidates opponents with fear and violence. The Monk Way of the Ascetic overcome physical impediments through mental discipline. The Monk Way of the Conduit uses Ki to channel primordial energies. The Paladin Oath of the Sovereign is sworn to protect their nation and its leaders, and the Paladin Order of the Drakes is willing to die for freedom and independence. And the Ranger Aether Prowler, empowered by the Aether's noxious magical power, and the Ranger Expanse Wayfinder are unparalleled explorers of the Starlight Seas. And the Rogue Cloaked Blade flourishes cloak and blade with deadly precision. And the Rogue Veiled Guardian stealthily guards through deadly reprisal. And the Sorcerer Phantom Shrouded harnesses the spectral dreams lost beneath the Starlight Sea. And Sorcerer Primordial Soul is infused with elemental power. And Warlock the Reaper subclass has sworn a pact to an apocalyptic entity. And Warlock the Swarm Pact draws upon the power of insectile fiends. And the Wizard Alacrity Scholar magically manipulates time and movement. And the Wizard Technomage uses Aetherium to enchant items. Oof, that was a lot. The breadth here is impressive, and a full discussion of every option would be its own video. The potential for creating vibrant, unique characters is undeniable. If there's enough desire, perhaps we'll livestream going through some of these and creating characters. The book also provides a buffet of character traits for the players to choose and swap with the original ancestry traits provided to their ancestry, GM permitting. These traits are also encouraged to be used as adventure rewards. All of the traits have an upgrade version that's obtained if taken twice, which is a nice touch to allow for rewards that make the player mechanically feel their character maturing and becoming a more competent adventurer. These function much like stacking feats, but a bit better of an implementation in my opinion. Chapter 7 introduces optional rules for officer stations and advancement, which define player characters' roles during naval combat. If the players and characters want to actively engage in the ship combat system, this system outlines their specific duties during ship-to-ship encounters. There are 10 roles in total, 5 of which are vital to the ship's operations. As characters advance in rank, they unlock new abilities and grant boons to the ship, with progression tied to achieving specific goals. Speaking of naval combat rules, let's address them. The naval rules, like I said earlier, are crunchy. There are a lot of mechanics here, and I know there's probably an appetite for good ship combat rules. So let's get into it, starting with an overview of ships, then ship combat, and finally a few of the other mechanics provided. There are 8 ship sizes that maps onto creature sizes. This doesn't mean that they're the same size as creatures, it's just borrowing that as an abstraction. The size of the ship determines its hit point maximum and its mobility. When a ship's HP reaches 0, its speed becomes 0, and mobility determines how fast it turns. A ship's speed is given in knots, and these knots correspond to squares on the combat grid. Bigger ships tend to be faster and get more weapon slots. There are weapon slots separated by the direction of the ship. Ships also have a weight, and some weapons can only be equipped by a ship of a higher weight. Weapons also have a range and target die. The target die determines the weapon's accuracy, and you hit on a 6 or higher. There is also ammo that cannons can fire that have different effects. Ships can be upgraded at the cost of GP. These upgrades can increase speed, HP, or convey various combat and navigation benefits. This is an excellent way to give your players something to spend their gold on. Additionally, ships can possess fuel and ammunition. These are basically extra items that you can store and use, similar to a spell scroll. Fuel can give temporary boosts to a ship's speed, and ammunition can change the behavior of a cannon so that it conveys some effect upon a hit. There is also a pursuit system. When one ship wishes to avoid direct action with another, this system can be deployed to put some mechanics to the dramatic pursuit and escape. There's also a supplies and resources system, where each size of the ship has specified room for grub, grog, and gear. Grub and grog are consumed by the crew and important to morale, and gear is used to repair the ship. As for ship combat, there are 3 phases to combat: movement phase, attack phase, and status phase. Players can take actions depending on what abilities their officer role bequeaths them. At the beginning of the battle, the GM draws an arrow on the battlefield that depicts the general wind direction, which is always cardinal. Whichever ship is farther upwind of the others, they are awarded the weather gauge, a token that allows for various combat benefits. The turn order is also determined by who is further upwind, so being the ship that is further upwind conveys great benefit. During the movement phase, where you can move is determined by your mobility. Low mobility ships have to move 2 spaces to turn and change their facing. Balanced mobility ships need to move 1 space before they turn, and high mobility ships have no restrictions on their turning. After the movement phase, the attack phase begins. First, the weather gauge can change hands here. Ships now downwind of other ships give up their weather gauge. All ships can now fire their weapons, and this happens simultaneously. To fire a cannon, you roll its target die and hit upon a 6 or higher. Cannon ranges are represented by cones, and their facing is determined by their location on the ship. Pretty intuitive. If your cannon is portside, it only fires in a cone portside. Upon a hit, you roll a d4, and that result determines how many casualties the ship takes, unless an ammo type has a different effect. Taking casualties and losing crew lowers the effectiveness of your ship by reducing your metal pool. The metal pool is a pool of dice that is expended for a variety of effects, most notably boarding actions. After resolving cannon hits and casualties and other effects, ships can attempt a boarding action. During this action, both ships roll their entire metal pool, and the side with the higher result wins. If the attacker wins, they claim the defender's ship, and if the defender wins, the attacker takes a large amount of casualties. After the attack phase is resolved, the status phase begins. The status phase can be used to heal the crew, make repairs, and put out fires. Putting out fires is important, as fires risk detonating your ship's powder source. Once these are resolved, you begin back at the movement phase. Victory is claimed once one side's ships are captured, destroyed, or forced to surrender. The side that wins gets to claim their prize. This can include gold, supplies, upgrades, and other resources, including the surviving crew that can decide to join the victors. So that's that. I hope it was enough Let me know if you have any questions on it. As for the final section of the book, Friends and Foes, it delivers just that. Chapter 14 includes around 53 stat blocks, featuring creatures like the Aether Dragon, rival technomages, a freaking ship mimic, and the most powerful of all, a ship cat. This mischievous little creature can't die, and has an uncanny ability to find any item aboard a ship. Chapter 15 introduces 14 NPCs that GMs can add to their campaigns, each with a stat block and an officer role. These characters would make excellent crew members, though I would have liked to see more fleshed out descriptions for some, as a few are quite brief. Still, it's a useful addition. Next, we move on to the appendices. Appendix A presents 3 popular games played by sailors on the Ethereal Sea, because what's a pirate adventure without some game of chance? Appendix B provides 9 sample ships that GMs can drop into their campaigns as needed, while Appendix D offers a random ship and crew generation for when you need a quick addition. Lastly, Appendix C includes NPC wanted posters for players to pursue, offering rewards and boons for their efforts. So, final thoughts, and who is this for? You'll enjoy Aetherial Expanse if you're looking to run an astral adventure inspired by classics like Treasure Planet, Atlantis the Lost Empire, Pirates of the Caribbean, Black Sails, or even Our Flag Means Death. It's also a great fit for Spelljammer fans seeking more of an Age of Sail twist on their spacefaring adventures. And for Planescape enthusiasts looking for plane-hopping escapades centered around a colorful, mysterious hub that is not Sigil. And that wraps up our spotlight on the Aetherial Expanse Setting Guide. And if you're still watching, thank you. Please like and subscribe, it helps the channel more than you realize. And I hope you're having a good day. Let me know any questions. Let me know your thoughts. Yeah. Bye.